Briana, she was a hard worker, outgoing, very sweet, nice, bubbly. She had a beautiful smile. She was very family oriented. She loved her daughter to death. She wouldn't leave her daughter.
Briana Winston is 23 years old and was last seen on March 16, 2024. She was here at the Gardenwood Apartments in College Park, Georgia, where she lives with her 4-year-old daughter. When she disappeared, her leasing office said someone had cleaned out Briana's apartment. Briana's family has been actively passing out flyers and looking for her. Today, I want you to take a walk with me to visit her home, her family, and her last known place of employment. Let's see if we can help bring Briana back home to her family.
Just into our newsroom tonight, a husband and wife have now become persons of interest in Clayton County in the case of a missing person that police have now classified as a homicide. So here's what we know from police tonight. The family of Briana Winston reported her missing April 1st. They say they went to her apartment only to find it completely cleaned out, reportedly by the father of her baby, who she also lived with. After that discovery, her family went to her job only to find out that Briana never showed up for her shift on March 17th. Clayton County Police are now saying the evidence is leading them to Briana's boyfriend, Michael Edwards, and his wife, Briana Phillips-Edwards, as a person of interest in her disappearance. Anyone with information is asked to please contact police.
As a 23-year-old mother and aspiring hairstylist, she embodied resilience and dedication. Her strong work ethic was evident as she worked tirelessly, juggling 2 jobs while pursuing her hairstyling dreams. Briana remained focused on her goals, driven by her love for her child and her passion for creating beauty. Her commitment to both family and career left a mark on all those who knew her.
I met Briana working here, and we had became friends. Every time she would see me, she would give me a hug. I'd come back in the back and check on me. And the good thing about it is we're both Aquariuses. Her birthday is February the 3rd, mine is February the 4th. We had a great connection. She was always cheerful, had a smile on her face. She was just a wonderful person to get to know. Anyone that she met or meet, you had an instant connection with her. She was working here before I worked here. I've been here like 9 months, but she was here before I got here. And I used to always see her and say, "What's up, baby girl?" And that's how it started, greeting each other all the time. We would just like meet and greet and do our hugs, our bumps. And that's how we formed a friendship. In the personal aspects of it, to know anything deep personal, but only the fact that we were both had our birthday on the same month, and how she adored her little girl. She didn't speak much of her partner. She didn't speak much of him.
She was really sweet, loving, adorable, attentive, loved her baby to the death. Briana was special. She looked like her mother. And she was very attentive and loving.
Everybody knows she's a hard worker. She had 2 jobs. And for her not to go to work, that was kind of a red flag there.
Although she was private, she still spoke with her family, especially her grandmother, almost every day. But when her grandmother didn't receive a call from her, she knew something wasn't right. Her cousin, Jasmine Walker, also knew something was suspicious when she couldn't get a hold of Briana on her cell phone at all. And once the hardworking mom didn't show up for work, they all knew it was time to report her disappearance to the authorities.
When I first heard about her disappearance, it troubled me because she was a person that would always come to work, you know, and when the word was that she was missing, I got kind of emotional because I could not understand it. I could not understand if someone had harmed her in a form or fashion. I know that she would not put herself in a predicament to be harmed or missing. It's a lot of speculations. I still don't want to assume anything. I want to have the hope that she's still here with us, and she's okay. She'll be found wherever she is. My prayer goes to her. I love her as a person. I know her family is devastated because she's a young, beautiful person. She has a great heart. And I never heard anything negative about her. She was always positive. But I will say, but it's a unfortunate situation. We can only hope for the best. I mean, I really do hope that she connects with her daughter. She was crazy about her daughter. That's all she would talk about, her little girl. When was the last time you saw her? I came to work. Well, I came to work one day, and like the second day, I said, "Where Bree at?" And they said, "You haven't heard?" I said, "Heard what?" And said, "She's missing." I said, "Y'all," I told them they were lying. I said, "Missing?" And said, "Yeah, she's been gone for 2 weeks now." I said, "Well, nobody, this is my first time hearing this." And like I said, I got emotional. I had to go. I had to go outside and get my thoughts together. And all I could do is pray and say, I hope that she be found. Because she was just like a sister to me. And I miss her. I miss her. I got some flyers and I passed flyers out different places. And I've been asking them, have they heard anything? They said no. I even looked on the news and haven't seen anything. Every time I turn on the news to watch the news, there's never a mention of her. Whether I turn on the 11 o'clock news or 6 o'clock news, why they're not doing anything? I don't understand that.
At just 23 years old, she carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. However, her days were a delicate dance between motherhood and secrecy. It was alleged that Briana was in an abusive relationship with her child's father. This alleged abuse was hidden from her friends and family, although it was moments when her loved ones felt something wasn't right within their relationship.
Briana, she was kind of, well, I'm not going to say kind of, she was very secretive when it came down to him because he was abusive. And once we found out he was abusive, you know how family get when, once we found out he was abusive, she kind of tried to like keep him away from us. Her coworker said that he used to pop up at her job and just sit outside her job and just watch her. Her best friend said that he used to hide in the bushes and stuff. Like when he used to follow her. Like if she go over a friend's house or something, he used to follow her and hide in the bushes just to see who was she in the house with. And he always told her if she wasn't going to be with him, she wasn't going to be with nobody else.
Sometimes she would come to work and she would be distant. And I remember when she came in for her birthday, her daughter and her boyfriend was here. And it's her birthday. So I went to the table to just wish her a happy birthday. And I could see the guy, he gave me a dirty look. And she had to hit the table and tell him it's okay. But some things that I've heard, I did hear of him was totally opposite of whom she were. I can't put the blame or say such as, but and I don't know if I can say this, but I think that he was physically she will come to work sometime with marks on her. And like I said, she will be distant sometime, like she's in another world. Or she will come to work sometime not even being her cheerful self. I remember one night that she was waiting for him to come pick her up for work. And it was getting late. It's after 12 o'clock and it's raining. And she had called him and asked him, "Are you coming to get me?" He said, "I'm coming to get you the time that you told me to come get you." But we had another female that worked here let her sit in the car until he came, and she asked him, "Why didn't you come get me when you said you was going to come get me?" And he had a negative reply, "I come when I got ready to come get you." But it's like, from what I've heard, or what I hear working here, he came up here 2 weeks after she was missing, coming from Publix, and coming here asked some of us how we seen her. I thought that was odd and unusual. My first meeting of him, he rubbed me the wrong way. He was very controlling in a sense. And he acted that way toward everybody that tried to have a connection with Bria. He had that negative vibe toward him. I don't think too many people liked him.
She always told us that. She told us he always said if she tried to leave him, he was going to kill her. And this is where we at today. Because she was tired. She was ready to leave him. She was ready to have her she wasn't happy with him. She was, every time he came around, she was like quiet and standoffish. And he was very quiet. When he came around, he didn't say much to us. And that was kind of weird.
Was she able to leave the apartment? Were they still living together, or was she already gone?
From my understanding, when they moved into the apartments, he turned the lights on illegally, from what I heard. So when the light company found out that he turned the lights on, once the light company found out, they came and turned them off. So the bill was like $3,000 or something. So she was working 2 jobs to try to pay the bill down to get the lights back on. But while her lights was off, she'll come to my house and spend the night. She'll go to her grandmother's house. She'll go to her aunt's house. She was just staying here, there. She'll go to her best friend's house. She was just staying places. And what was kind of weird to the family is he's married. We just found out he was married. The girl name is Briana as well.
Edwards is a man who has countless secrets of his own, and during the process of filming this documentary, one of his biggest secrets was revealed to the family of Winston. He hid the fact that he was secretly married. In January of this year, Michael allegedly tied the knot to a woman named Briana Phillips. The day the family found out about Briana Phillips, the same day she was announced as a person of interest alongside Michael for the disappearance of Briana Winston.
She's the person of interest. The detective reached out to me the beginning of this past week, and I was just asking him, like, was it any updates on the case? And he was like, by the way, did you know that Michale was married? I said, married? He said, I guess you didn't know either, but that was like a wow to us, because you're married, but you're still stalking her. You don't want her to be with anybody, and it was just crazy. The last time I spoke, Briana was at my house the beginning of March. No, the middle of March. This is April. She was at my house the middle of March, but her sister just had her baby on the 28th of March, and she was ready for the baby to come. And her sister said when she reached out to her, Briana wasn't responding or anything. But she went to her best friend's house, and her best friend said that she was over her house on March the 15th, the 16th, one of those days. But she said while she was over the best friend's house, Briana stated to her that she had ran into Michale's girlfriend, but come to find out his wife, mother. And when she ran into the wife, mother, it was wording saying that the baby was calling her mom, and she's been around the baby since the baby was born. This is all of what I'm hearing. It's just word of mouth. Her sister reached out to me on the 1st of April and said, have you talked to Briana? I said, no. She was like, well, I've been calling her and texting her. And I'm like, well, that's not Briana. So I got up, left my house, and came over here and went to the leasing office and asked them could they do a wellness check on her. And when they went in the apartment was spotless, clean.
After reporting her missing, her family decided to start searching for Briana on their own. They went to the Gardenwood apartments where she lived and asked for them to do a wellness check on her. According to the leasing office, someone had cleaned out Briana's apartment, but they had no clue who it was. While still at Gardenwood searching around the apartments, her uncle found a bag with sneakers in it behind her building, and he said it smelled like bleach was poured on them.
They said when they walked in, it smelled like bleach, and they stepped in something wet on the carpet. But they said the refrigerator was cleaned out, spotless. The toilet was spotless. Everything was spotless. It was clean. Wasn't nothing in there. They said the apartment was ready for moving, basically, again. When I went in, when they went in the apartment and said that it was clean, that clicked to me something's wrong. So I went and did a police report, a missing person police report. But while I was doing the police report, they sent the police officer to her apartment and had them to just look in there. And while I was standing at the police precinct, I heard the sergeant say over the speaker, he was like, "No, this is not right. We need to come and check this out." So we sat in front of the apartment maybe like 7 hours. We sat in front of the apartment maybe like 9 or 10 that morning until like maybe 7 that night waiting on CSI to come. They told us CSI had to come and take pictures and stuff, but while we was waiting on the CSI to come, we just took it upon ourselves to walk around and ask the neighbors questions and stuff. And the neighbor that lives up under Briana, she stated that she seen Michale like maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, say he had a bag in his hand. And Briana's uncle asked what kind of bag was it. She said like a gray bag. So they asked which direction he went in, and they went walking. I was still sitting in front of the apartment waiting on CSI, but her uncle went and walked the trail, and he came upon the bag and it had bleach in it and shoes. And when he called me, he just said, "I found something." But once he said he found something, I took off running. But before I took off running, I told the police officer that was sitting out there with us that they found the bag, and he told us not to touch it. So I don't know what else was in the bag. They took it as evidence.
Text her. Did they give you any text information, any pings to her location?
No. They sent her best friend a picture because she left her best friend's house on the bus on Marta, and they sent her best friend a picture asking was that what Briana had on walking through the gate. They sent her a picture of her walking through her gate that night. We was calling him when we found out that she wasn't answering her phone. He wasn't answering his phone. We called the mom, and the mom said she stay out of their business, and that was it. She said she didn't know where Briana was, and that was that. But from the time they found the bag, they told us we couldn't communicate with them, reach out to them anymore, so we haven't reached out or anything to them.
On April 26, 2024, Clayton County Police announced Edwards and his wife, Briana Phillips-Edwards, as persons of interest.
And the detective called me yesterday while I was sitting at the park trying to clear my mind just off of everything. They said, "Well, I was just calling to let you know that before you see anything on the news or on TV or on the internet, I was just calling to let you know we was about to do a press release. And we have a suspect, person of interest. It's Michale." They said it was Michale, but when I looked on the internet, it was Michale and his wife. We found out he got married January the 5th of this year.
So what are the charges so far?
We don't know the charge. When like family, all of us, we've been looking on the internet and stuff, and when they looked on the internet, it said aggravated stalking. We don't know where that came from, but from my understanding, it was a PTO. He didn't supposed to be around Briana because they got into it October of last year. In the court, the judge said he didn't feel that it was safe for Michale to be around Briana. So I don't know if that stalking charge is from that or where it's from. So I don't know. Thank you for reaching out.
Briana's family believes she is in danger and that she will never leave her 4-year-old, who is now in the care of her father. Currently, no arrests have been made in this case, and Briana has still not been found. Briana stands 5'1" and weighs about 200 pounds. At this time, there are no further updates on this case. If you have any information on the disappearance of Briana Winston, call Detective J. Bryson at 678-610-4713. And if you are in a different area, you can always contact your local authorities.